Hello, welcome to the character generation summary video for Naxtamun's temple. I got it right that time. You should be proud of me. There we go.
Naxtamun.
Yeah, you got it. Ooh,
Yeah.
you got a name right.
What's happening?
I won't do it again. It's fine. Just this one time because Maggie was getting mad. So Maggie, you're the DM this time.
Yes. Is that your takeover?
That's me telling you that. Yeah, I'm done. I'm cool.
It's like 5 a.m. for me. I'm so tired. So I'll kind of guide you guys through like the background a little bit. We'll also have given you guys this character sheet or this player intro guide as well if you are watching this because it's for the party tier. So I'm just going to read through some of this and then I will talk to each of the players and have them introduce their characters. And then we're going to go off on a practice adventure. Yay! Which we're not going to record for you guys.
Just in case we die, because you don't want to have it be over before it's
okay to die in the practice one. You know, it's your chance to do bold things and kind of test the limits of your character. So I'm just going to read through the campaign setting for you guys. Your parties are treasure hunters. Choose which treasure hunter guild you would like to be from to help you get a sense of your place in the world of Fenray, and that is the name of the planet that they're on. No matter which guild they choose, their current mission is to go to Naxtamun's temple to find Nerva's clever chronoglass. So that is the mission that they're on currently, is to find this chronoglass. And I'll tell you guys a little bit about what that chronoglass is momentarily. Thus far, no one has returned from the temple. You do know a few scouting parties who have surveyed the area, and from the lore available pending your background, you may know some information regarding what happened at the temple prior to the abandonment. For instance, I would say Bentham's character probably knows a lot of stuff, whereas EE's character does not know that much. He's like, I'm here to get this item. There's a temple. Some dude lived there at some point. You know, that's all he needs to know. I'm going to crush all the
That's all you need.
Yeah.
Get the thing, get out. Like, what else?
It's dangerous. I want to go there. I want to like have the head of the creature at the end or something. I don't know.
Well, yeah, maybe.
They know that the journey will be dangerous, and so they have been well prepared. Get ready for a dark, gritty dungeon delve filled with creatures, puzzles, and traps. So it's kind of the starting of it all. The planet that they're on is called Fenray, and you guys will learn a little bit more about that as we go through things.
What's a planet?
Trelithum is.
It's like a plan, isn't it?
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
We're gonna plan it, innit? Right.
That's right. Plan the run. We can't go on a dungeon run without a plan. Right?
Hopefully,
Yeah. We it's somebody called Ray, and we're gonna bury him in a fen. Yeah, that's it. Right.
What's a fen?
It's a sort of marshy bit, innit?
Like a planet, but a fennet.
Yeah, no, the planet is to fen.
Something to do with a guy called Ray.
In a fen. Yeah, that's the planet.
This is gonna be an adventure. Hopefully they survive. Everyone keeps saying this is gonna be the first.
There's gonna be puzzles.
Yeah. Don't worry, I didn't make the puzzles too crazy because it's hard to do puzzles sometimes without like a map, I think.
Apparently this door's trapped and we'll have to pick a lock. You got that battering ram?
Yeah, I got a battering ram. Here we go.
The trap totally won't go off if you do that.
We can go for the wall, right?
Yeah, totally.
The continent that they're on, I'm gonna reel it back in because I have to go to work, so we gotta wrap things up quick. The continent that they're on is Trelithum, which is the largest continent on Fenrayan. There are actually, I think I have like 9 continents that are on this planet, but we're not gonna ever explore any of them. Trelithium was one of the first of 5 areas in the world where ancient civilization arose independently. So it's kind of the one thing that, one of the major places that has defined the cultures that exist in some of the areas of the world. One of the notable things is that Naxtamun's temple is located on there. Naxtamun's temple is the largest Xenavian temple, and it towers over the land in Trilithium, and you can see it from long distances very far away. It's where the last known chieftain, Zekva, of the Zinavian clan was noted to have been seen. Naxtamun ruled in the temple for almost a full century, which is a really long time, until his death of natural causes. The temple was built in his honor during his 10th year of reign and has stood the test of time since. And I think the person who probably is going to know the most about that is probably Bentham's character, potentially also Tempo's, or yeah, because I think like you would probably know a lot about like the history of some places as well.
10 years of reign's a long time.
It all depends.
Yeah, that's where all the fens come from, innit? It's all the rain, marshy. Yeah. Yeah. Totally.
And
knows a little something.
I think that the what do you call it? I have like a little photo kind of inspiration. If you're a Warhammer fan, you probably have seen that photo before. But that I think is that's a perfect piece of art to explain everything, like kind of give you the vibe of the world, kind of give you the vibe of what this tower towering over everything else looks like. There are a lot of other smaller towers near and around, but that is the biggest one in the land that you have seen. The next thing is organizations. Now, treasure hunters guilds are the guilds that are now governing and reigning all throughout the lands. And I'll just read a little bit of here and kind of talk about the one that the group chose. And then if you guys want to read the other ones, you're welcome to as well, because it will be provided to you. And also potentially we'll talk about it as we go throughout the dungeon, because they might find other adventurers within the dungeon. They're probably not going to be alive.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. The Treasure Hunters Guilds. As increasingly powerful ancient artifacts were found, power erupted in varying parts of the world in Fenray. The Fenrayan people were tussled into chaos as evil influences took over lands and waters. The Oath of the Fenrayan were the first guild to form, a group of sages, priests, and knights of the people yearning to bring organization back to the lands. They slowly gathered the artifacts they could and removed the malicious leaders from governing power. But as word grew of their endeavor, more guilds were formed throughout the lands, until there were 4 vying for power for these great artifacts, or that these great artifacts possess. These 4 guilds are now the governing power in the world of Fenray. In some lands, those of certain guilds are not welcomed, while in others there is an understanding so long as no danger is placed upon their inhabitants. It is a fine line the world sits in as the powers of each guild increases and the guilds slowly gain rank over one another. So you have the Oath of the Fenrayan, which are going to be kind of your more organized priests, sages. What they want to do is preserve knowledge and preserve the artifacts. The Chosen is the one that our adventurers have chosen. Yearning for adventure and fame, the Chosen are well known for what they do and how well they do so. Many of them adorn themselves with their findings, showing off their prowess and utilizing their new findings to progress into the depths of the world to find what else lies beyond. The largest guild of them, but only few earn the titles worth fame and fortune. So I will be giving these guys some extra magic items to start with because they chose this one. Madlanders are kind of like your merchants and your traders and your hired adventurers. And if you're looking for rare items, they're usually the ones who you'll want to go to. And whereas the Bone Fury Raiders, these are your like pirates, your rogues often. They're bandits. They're people who are like, they're not the most fun to be around, but I think they're infamously well known. And then one of the last things is I kind of wanted to go over a little bit of the Zinavian or Zinabi tribe, which is they are the original founders of the great temples of Trilithium. They brought a sense of civilization to the area, building temples, farms, and waterways to help provide shelter, order, and food to their people. Previously nomads, they were survivalists and storytellers. When looking at their ancient structures, it's easy to gather how their culture preserved these aspects of their life through the gigantic walls of drawings and the tools they left behind. Their last known leader was Chieftain Zekva, son of Naxtamun, who led with an iron fist and caused the first inter-clan battle in centuries for the Xanavi. The great scribes state that there are currently no surviving Xanavi in existence that they know of, which is an interesting thing. The item that they're looking for is called Nerva's Clever Chronoglass, a large instrument consisting of 2 bulbs of glass joined by a narrow passage through which a quantity of black and green liquid runs. Its effect is, when activated, it freezes time on the user's current plane of existence within 30-meter radius for 1d4 hours. There's a bonus effect, though. This effect can be amplified in range and duration if a power source is linked to the instrument. The range and duration length depends on the power rating of the power source. So,
is there a stupid chrono class as well?
Potentially.
What happens if we break it open and drink the liquid?
Oh yeah, maybe we get like the time powers forever.
I mean, I think we just look tasty. Look like mint flavor.
Oh, maybe right. You'll do a poo and it will just feel like it lasts forever.
Maybe we should leave it in there.
Adventures again?
Yeah, maybe.
Good luck, Bentham.
Yep.
So I'm going to kind of go through and let each of them talk a little bit about their character, their name, their race, their class, their appearance and notable equipment, their personality, and any other defining qualities that they feel like you guys should know before we get into it all. And then we're going to wrap things up. So enter Elysium. Start us off with what your character name is and who are you?
I haven't decided the voice yet, by the way. It could just be the, East End, bit of a hard man. I could just go with the standard dwarf voice. Anyway, I'm Invar Ironarm, and I'm a dwarf, a mountain dwarf, in fact. I'm very much I'm focusing on just being the strongest dwarf out there. I'm the strongest dwarf in the entire continent, as far as I'm aware, mainly because the last guy who thought he's the strongest dwarf got his teeth kicked in. Anyway, I specialize in wrestling giant monsters, putting them on the ground and then beating the crap out of them. And cause I do that, the gods have blessed me with divine strength, and I can divine smite them with my fists, cause I am a barbarian paladin. Oh yeah.
Gee, boy.
Otherwise known as the Muscle Wizard.
Are you guys shocked? It's only 2 classes. I thought he was
shocked.
Go crazy.
On my
I was
drum
all right,
board.
I'm proud of you. A little bit of a restraining bolt.
Just give me
Did you just say restraining ball?
Bolt. Restraining bolt.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense. I was like, what is a restraining ball?
Restraining ball and chain, when you...
Yeah, or it's maybe a little... No, anyway, sorry.
I know where Fuzzy is going. You continue.
Okay. Yeah, so I had other plans that I was like, how do I make this work? In the end, because I didn't know if anyone else was going to be melee, I decided to drop the plan based on being a defensive character, and I've just gone for a barbarian with a paladin side. Because he believes so strongly that he is the strongest, he has strength powers. Also because I haven't decided if he follows a god exactly, but he definitely has like a patron god and divine sense of he does believe in the gods and stuff. So
I would say if you want to be part paladin, you have to.
You have to have a strength of belief. It doesn't necessarily need to be in a god; it needs to be in a cause. And since he's conquest paladin, his belief is the strongest should be in charge. He just hopes the strongest person is him.
You know what? I think that is perfect for the guild that you guys have chosen. That is exactly how that culture works. The culture is, who has the most medals, right? Who has killed the most difficult beast? Who has received the
most gold
magical item?
It might not be those golds, but it'll be the most fancy looking head that goes on the wall. Except there's this one time he didn't have a head.
Did you go over what your character?
A shiny head.
Yeah, currently I'm going off the basis that my character's probably going to be a guy. I might change that depending, since we've got quite a guy-heavy party. But my idea was that he's a dwarf with like a very light tunic that anytime he rages, he bursts out of it like Hulk style. It just like goes glistening chest muscles.
Are you bringing spare clothes?
Yeah, no, I'm going to make sure that I have to spend like all my gold on spare clothes because otherwise I'm going to be topless.
That's why he goes on Dungeon Run just to afford clothes.
Oh, you've got mending. Excellent. Bentham, after every battle, you have to mend my clothes.
Not again.
Oh my gosh, that would be so cute. Every time you guys are doing like a little break, you just see Tempo's character sewing.
I think while you're doing that, I actually have proficiency with violins, so I'll just sit there with a violin in my spare time.
And making all that noise totally won't make something attack you.
That's the point in playing the violin, right?
I've got to say, proficiency
pretty scary, actually.
Violins is what I was expecting based on everything else about your character we played.
Well, my character's a cross between Captain America and Louis Armstrong from Full Metal Alchemist. So he's like just constantly like, he's got a charisma of 13. He's quite charismatic for a guy who's just pure muscle. And he's just gonna be like, you look at the Armstrong technique passed down through generations, but with my dwarf. And that's what I'm constantly going to be doing. And I'm going to be like smashing fists together and then punching heads. And he can also play a violin. He used to be a gladiator. He's got like this ginger beard with a fancy waxed mustache. The beard isn't actually that big. I'm probably going to have it like braided into like 2 bits. But then the mustache is just glorious. Big, waxed, curly mustache. Not sure on the hair yet. Might go for like, he's bald with like a little strip down the center. He's probably going to be tall for dwarf as well. Very wide. Very wide.
Dwarf pattern balding. It just goes at the sides instead.
Yep.
Cool. Anything else that you think that the audience should know?
Oh, yes. Because I was trying to make an unarmed character work, and it wasn't. I managed to find like a beautiful subclass for Barbarian that Maggie allowed me to use, which is it's a homebrew one I found on the internet, which we modified slightly because it had an ability to like automatically get a grapple. And I was like, it should just be a grapple check.
I was like, no.
I was like, Maggie, you don't want to allow me to have this, and you were like, no. So instead of automatically grapple, you now make a check, which is the normal deal. So the idea behind it is you rage, you punch things, you don't use a weapon. I have a shield and no weapon, which is good because I rolled really low for my money. I rolled so low, so very, very low, I could afford a shield and some nets.
Awesome. Anything else?
No clothes.
You're good? All right. Bentham, tell us about your character.
Okay, so my character is Sindri Pelwick, and he is a gnome. He's the shortest gnome to make. He is 2 feet tall, and I find this endlessly hilarious. I wanted him to be 1 foot tall or something, but there's a lower limit, unfortunately. I just like the idea of just him being really, really tiny amongst all the like pretty much normally sized or in some cases tall people, and just has to be lifted up to look at ends and stuff. And he is the guy that has to look at all the puzzles.
Right?
So yeah, he's a gnome. I was looking at the types of gnome, and I was thinking, right, so we're going crawl, and it's full of traps and artifacts and puzzles and all sorts of things like that. This would be absolutely perfect for rock gnome. So I'm a forest gnome, which means I can cast illusions and I can talk to small animals. And I'm a wizard.
Bloody hell.
And
I like the fact that you came to me and you were like...
I gave them a lot of information. Like, all the information that you guys saw is all the information they have, so... Yeah.
Bentham came to me and said, you know what, this time I won't play a ridiculous character because I think it's going to be hard, so I will play a somewhat reasonable character. Like, what should I play? And I was like, right, gnomes, you want to be small? Gnomes, perfect. They've got int, they're gnomes, they're small. And you were like, yeah, I'll play that because it's good. And then you picked the forest gnome. God damn it. You still had to do it. You still had to find a way.
To be fair... We gnome with pirates, and I'm like, yeah, let's be a different one. I want to be making like constructs and stuff. We just happen already, so I went with the forest one. It's like I get minor illusion for free and stuff. It's useful.
Yeah,
and there might be animals in there.
I can make there be some
animals. I was gonna say,
yeah. Maybe like a rat or something. You know, that makes sense.
Yeah. Perfect.
Maybe some snakes. Like, I don't know how much you
like. I was gonna say like a giant snake. You could be even or no.
Why did it have to be snakes?
Over you.
Can you talk to? There's probably tons of cockroaches.
Maybe some spiders. Spiders. Arabs.
I'm fed up with these goddamn snakes and this goddamn tomb.
It's not a tomb though. It is a temple.
It's a tomb for all the other adventurers who came before.
Yeah, I think all the dead
There's a lot of dead people in here.
It's more of a mausoleum, surely, an ossuary.
It may have used to be a temple. It's most definitely now a tomb.
Okay, you make a fair point.
That was good. That was good.
All right, Bentham. Anything else?
Yeah, so I'm a wizard. My subclass, I've renamed it because I feel like abjuration, no one knows, so I'm a nope wizard. And it means that all my spells are about just noping out of or generally stopping anything from happening. It's what abjuration is. It's literally like it's
I love it.
spells. It's like, why would you call it that?
I'm not even joking. When
yeah.
I described the different classes to Bentham, he was like, what's abjuration mean? I was like, abjuration is basically denial, countering. He was like, oh, so it's a nope class.
Walk around like this the whole time, yeah. Just walking around the temple, waving his finger.
Like, I'm gonna nope. In my house, siege armor, sword, nope, shield. There's some crazy horrific monster here. Nope, banish.
Just get do the Mexican mother thing and have your slipper just like sandal or whatever.
Can your like the somatic component when you have to do the hand gesture be like?
Yeah, like no.
Just like.
I was imagining more like horrible monster comes at me. I'm like, nope, cast everything.
Oh wait, no, it's just a bugbear. Never mind.
Oh, it's you. You're like 4 times taller than me. It's hard to tell. I've never actually seen what you look like.
Can you talk a little bit about? Well, I don't know if there's anything else you want to talk about your class, but if you want to talk about what you look like.
You're so short. You can't even tell.
I was looking into like gnome appearances, and apparently this is basically the facial hair. So I'm partly there with the cosplay already. So that's good.
Can you just have like a really enormous hat? So you're just basically an ambulant hat from the point of view of everybody
like
else.
a 2-foot wide hat. You can get a 2-foot wide hat easily.
Oh yeah, that works. Yeah.
So you're actually like 4 feet with the hat.
Dr. Seuss hats, right? Like.
Here's the great thing about minor illusion. It can make a 3-foot by 3 foot, and you're 2 foot tall. 2-foot wide hat. You can fit in a minor illusion box.
Yeah, but is that like even like gnome wearing the hat, the hat wearing the gnome at that point, right? Like
sentient hat. That needs to be a magic item. Sentient hat.
I have floating disc. Make that a hat, and then I can store stuff on it as well. I don't know.
Stuff.
Well, do you want to talk a little bit more about what you look like then, or anything else?
I don't know much specifically about appearance. Yeah, who cares about that? Anyway, a color of eyes and a color of hair.
It's gonna be dark in there.
Our artists.
Yeah, that too.
I'll work it out. We're
the poor fan artists. You know, they're over there. Sometimes they make the characters before we even go live, and you're just not gonna have any.
I need to know so that I can make those great photoshops for our character sheets.
Oh yeah, that'd be good.
Too.
I'll work it out before the time.
I like that everyone's photoshopped except for Bentham just looks like Bentham.
Bentham is actually a note wizard.
It's sort of like functional because he's an adventurer by like profession, so he doesn't go into a dungeon with fancy flowing bright blue wizard robes or anything. It's like, no, I'm gonna get some like tan colored stuff that works, and so it's like wizard robes, but like they won't fall apart 5 minutes.
He's wearing like camouflage.
Oh yeah, that sort of thing. And it's like specifically dungeon camouflage.
Gray and green, moss.
Just like get a bush.
You can do that. I'll just play the violin as we walk around.
But what's bigger, the violin or Bentham's character? Well, that's the question.
I think the violin is probably bigger than Bentham's.
Yeah, I think it's quite possible.
Anything else that you want to add into there, Bentham? For
I think that's the basics. He's a big fan of knowledge. He wants to learn more stuff. He has a particular interest in the artifact they're after. That's sort of. I'm going to tie that into.
Do you want to mention what that is, or no? You want to keep it yourself?
Well, what I did was I picked the sage background, and so it's all about knowledge and learning more knowledge. And I picked which one? I picked the bond. I've been searching my whole life for the answer to a certain question, and he thinks that the answer may lie with the artifact.
Ooh, so we'll have to wait to find out what that is. All right, let's move on to Tempo. Tempo, tell us about your character.
All right. So my character is Makalo Ibori, right? And he's actually a human war cleric. So, you know, the party was like, you know, we really don't have that many people that can heal. And I was like, oh, I got this, dude. And of course, instead of picking a healing cleric, I picked someone that basically
I was gonna say
max things with his warhammer and keeps, you know, people safe. So it's kind of, I wouldn't even really say like as much as a straight up tank, but he definitely is trying to protect. That's kind of his virtue as far as things goes, because his little backstory, at least, is that he used to be more of like a peasant, kind of working in a mine, not by choice, but he was able to stumble upon a shield that had like this icon on it, and it glimmered at him, and he ended up feeling things every time that it would glimmer, telling him to do certain things. So he led like an uprising, and the other miners that were in the mine with him ended up, taking over the village that they were in. And ever since that moment, the shield, he always feels some kind of attachment to it, a bit of, I would say, duty almost to it, because it does have this kind of icon on it, which is actually it's a god. It's the Tritherion, I believe the name of it is, the god of liberty and retribution, which it happened to be. And the reason why he ended up joining the treasure guild, or the treasure hunter guild, is mainly to get more things to adorn the shield with, because he feels like it demands to be pretty. And so he puts every kind of thing that he gets from his journeys on the shield, like around the icon.
The shield talks to him. It's like,
it speaks to him. It does, yeah.
Yeah.
And he talks back, and he talks back to the shield as well.
Sindri, you want to check him out? I think he may have taken one too many hammer blows to the head.
He's mental. He's completely mental.
He's not all completely there, but he's definitely noble.
He's hugging his shield while he's asleep, and he's sleep talking to it. He's telling it all these weird things,
Should we just take the shield off him? Maybe it'll make him
we
better.
give him one of those what's it called?
Like,
you give him a placebo. A placebo. Give him another shield painted look the same.
I think
I've got some gold paint somewhere. Let's have a go.
beyond having a shield, what else do you look like? Do you look?
Yep. So he's actually pretty tall. He's about 6 feet tall. He has dark skin. He's another male character, and he has like these 2 thick braids that go back. And he wears, I believe it's a scale mail, so it's actually a pretty heavy mail. And I would say, he's pretty chill, like for the most part, but he's definitely pretty attached to this shield, and just his newfound religion, that he doesn't even know exactly what the religion is, but he does feel this kind of duty to it, and it basically drives him to do everything that he does, whether it's defending people, whether it's the whole liberation, or just to get more gold and loot to put on it to make it happy, because he thinks that is what is needed to appease it. So
awesome. I love it.
He says he wants to keep his shield happy.
Anything else that you want to add in there, or you think you covered all your goodies?
I'd say yeah.
All right. And last but not least, Fuzzy. Also, I just wanted to say like a huge welcome to Fuzzy, because Fuzzy's new to the role.
Yeah, I haven't seen Fuzzy in so long. Oh my god.
I know. Tempo and Fuzzy and I used to.
Oh, you're muted.
Play in a campaign together.
I knew that. I knew I was muted. I'm a professional.
I think that was like my
slowly
first.
bringing all my favorite people together. So Fuzzy, talk a little bit about your character, who you are.
Right. All right. And my character's named Goldie, and they're a 7.5 foot tall bugbear pirate. Yeah. So I was just like, yeah, bugbear pirate, fantastic, right? Yeah, I get really flustered when I do character intros, so yeah, hi. So it's just like huge bugbear, just massive, but is really stealthy and manages to just turn up behind you when you least expect it and scare the living what's out of you. So it's just
horrifying.
I know, right? Bugbear, hello. So it's just like, what are you doing there, mate? Yeah, it used to be the bosun on a pirate ship, which is basically the person who keeps everybody else in line. Has a whip to keep everybody else in line. Also has 1 gold tusk, which is why they're called Goldie, because it's Goldie, it's gold.
Do you have the whip to go along with the restraining ball?
I'll probably go on in the bag somewhere. Also, just basically carries an enormous backpack
How
everywhere,
did your tooth
you know.
get gold? Like, is there a story behind that?
Well, basically, Goldie was sort of press ganged / enslaved when they were very young, and they were just like the general dog's body on the ship and got kicked around and things. And I'm assuming the tooth got broken at some point. And then once they, got bigger and bigger and meaner and meaner, and became, eventually managed to work their way up to being the bosun, they eventually, managed to replace the tusk with some gold because,
Had a little bit of dentistry.
Got bling bling.
Yeah.
All the hip hop artists are
Right.
doing it nowadays.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Looks good. What do you reckon? Yeah.
All right.
Seriously? Right. And
What about your
Goldie-
class? And
so it's a rogue subclass, which is it's like the sailor thing, and I've taken the pirate variant of it because I like gold. Goldie likes gold a lot. Got that bling. Got that bling bling. Yeah. Goldie is big and nasty, basically, and likes to sort of, is a little, not a bully exactly, but they don't really take much, nonsense. It's just like, stop messing around, stop it, got a job to do, all right? Messing around later in the bar, yeah. That's pretty much it, I think.
Oh, you're the swashbuckler, aren't you? Is that the subclass
yes.
swashbuckler?
Possibly. I don't. Let me check. I can't remember. I filled everything in. I have the character in my head, but I can't remember the details and things.
The rogue subclass that's in Sword Coast Adventurers Guide and Xanathar's.
I think that's what I picked. Yeah. I can't remember. Don't. I don't know. Don't ask me questions. I'm not prepared. I wasn't prepared for this. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, that kind of gives you an idea of the interesting party that we have coming together. Now they've been adventuring for quite some time together. How long have you guys been adventuring together?
It seems like,
right?
so long now. I mean,
5 years?
This
5
many
days.
years, maybe. But days, years,
Decades.
this many something.
that many.
It's about that I'm not going to correct them.
It's been a while.
I mean, time flies when you're having fun with your.
Yeah, I was
exploring.
drunk a lot of the time, to be honest with you. So I'm not sure. But yeah,
Awesome. I love it. Like, oh gosh, it's gonna be
feels like 5 years.
This
Definitely.
is the one thing we never talked about. So you were just like, how long have we been together? We're like,
I'm just asking, like, how long?
This many.
You-
I don't know.
It doesn't
5.
have to- you
5
can
what?
say you don't know.
Weeks.
But I personally want you guys to have been a party for a long time, and I told you guys that previously. So I was just curious if you guys thought about how long you wanted to be together.
That requires thinking.
But it should be quite a few years that you guys have been.
5
That many
decades?
days. Yeah.
Not
Ah,
decades. That's
We've
a
been
really
through
long
some.
time.
We've been through some things.
But-
Yeah.
That's not a long time. That's like
How long?
an eighth of my life.
How
Yeah.
long though?
Imagine
is
doing
a
something with-
Fenrir
I'm
year?
not-
Is it the same
How long do bugbears live for?
length?
Not that long.
Yeah. I was gonna say,
Maybe, maybe we've been a team for 5 years, but how long is that on Fenrir? Maybe the planet like is
ooh,
out and
yeah,
take-
rotations. Yeah,
different
Maybe 5 days is actually a really long time.
No,
What's that in
5 days is not that
It's
long.
not.
Yeah, so these are your guys' adventures. They are going to be going into Naxtamun's temple. It is not going to be an easy feat, but there is a whole bunch of story and mystery and fun prepared for them. So I hope that you guys enjoy it and you will tune in. We will be launching on which day is it? May 19th or 19th, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's it.
Saturday.
May 19th, Saturday.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
May 19th.
I'll be much
So-
more well rested. I'm like, oh,
Well,
Bugbears
it's 6
live to
a.m.
be
for me,
80.
so-
18? Or 18.
80? No.
80. Yeah, they
Like
reach
people-
maturity at 16. I remember that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're okay.
Cool.
So me and Bentham live for like ages, and you guys just
Huh,
It's okay.
Live fast, die young, leave a big hairy corpse.
there we go.
There you go. I imagine also that your character, because it's so hairy, like if you're a pirate, you probably smell like wet dog.
All the time.
No, I smell like wet bugbear.
Bear. Yeah.
Who are you calling a
Wet
dog?
bear.
Who are you calling a bug? Who are you calling a dog? That's offensive, Dave.
Salty dog. It's like it's a
Salty
ship
dog,
term.
yeah.
It's a pirate term. It's a pirate
It's a
term.
pirate thing.
I never called a salty dog in my life. Well, one
Because you've
bloke
been called a wet dog. That's
I think I
why.
got one of those last time I went to an inn.
Oh,
This
It's
is going
okay.
to be terrible.
I'm so excited.
I'm very concerned for the sanity of my character.
I'm
He doesn't even have much whiz. He's just intelligence. His wisdom's
j-
like 1.
I'm just curious how you guys will go through everything. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So we're going to go do a test dungeon and see how that goes. Hopefully you guys enjoy this character summary, and we still have quite a few things that we're going to be doing on our end, and we will be releasing all this information throughout the week prior to our launch, as well as when we launch, we'll be doing some more stuff. So stay tuned for that, and thank you guys for watching. EE, take it away.
Bye.